share this on Facebook. See what I'm doing? I just got the notification. I'll share that for you. Make sure you share that to me.
You sharing on your page?
Okay, just share it. Give me 1 second. Let me know when you gotta share it. Sit down real quick and share it. Let me know when it's fully done. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah Bagatah, Yahweh Shema Al-Thaba Shemi Al-Shah, Priest knows the 5,000s of rock, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This is today is the Sabbath service. We're gonna go ahead and start it. I got priest numbers of 50, Barak Yah with me. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna knock the Sabbath service out. We're gonna get ready to go to camp. Have a powerful camp of the Lord, man. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. Let's start. Make sure we get the books up. Book is already up the front. Maju, what you mean to stand? We're gonna have the second priest blow the horn. Most High in Christ. Yum yum, salt. Shama all, salt. And you say La Yasha'Allah, stick your chalice out and say La Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
which means to Israel. Most High in Christ. We're gonna blow the horn again. Alright, we're gonna take the scroll. I'll have you take the scroll.
Oh, this is new.
Most High in Christ, and gonna put it over your shoulder. There you go, Most High in Christ. Alright, Waphan Aquadum, which means to face the east. We're gonna say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Asha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Kab, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawap Nawa. Wala'ah, Tabia'ah Nawa, Banasana Wan, Abor, Hawashah Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wata Aparat, La'awalamyam, Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day
today
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us of our debts,
forgive our debts,
as we forgive our debtors,
as we forgive our debtors,
and lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Hakach the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Babu Kashah,
Babu Kashah,
Nathalanau,
Nathanael,
Hakach,
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 Larpa'ah,
Ha'parah,
Kal Makalah,
Kal Makalah,
Wakal Matawat,
Kal Malawah,
Hakach,
Hakach,
Latahar,
Atar,
Hamatazarian,
Amatazar,
Hakach,
Hakach,
Lahakwayam,
Lakariyam,
Hamathim,
Hamathi,
Hakach,
Hakach,
Harakawah,
Lakakawah,
Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagar Sham,
Nagarsham,
Bahashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Dawad Aman.
Wa'adamah,
Hakach the power in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power
please give us the power
to heal
to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the leper,
the power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
cast them out.
In the name of
In
Yahushua,
the name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We got blessings for the power in the Hebrew, Brakatah Yahweh Yahushua,
Barakatah Yahweh, God Yahushua.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Why?
So say Wa Mayaka Allah,
Why?
Mayaka
Maya
Allah,
Ka'al.
Wa Alahaya,
Maya Ayapayim.
Matazabya,
Matazaya.
Alawap Yahana,
Awap Yahan.
Ha Alawapyam.
Wap Alap.
Say Ha
Ha.
Alawapyam.
Wap.
Say Ha Allah
Wap Alap.
Wapyam.
Wapi.
Ha Sarunyam.
Hasanyam.
Ha Kwarazanyam.
Aqua Zambi.
Ha Kakoyam.
Koy.
Ha Akwapyam.
Aqua Amu.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
Wa'adamah.
Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commander Yahan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
The
The
sisters.
sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121. In the Hebrew, Asha'ah,
Asha'ah.
Ayanya,
Ayanya.
Al-Haharyam,
Al-Hahari.
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah.
Azarya,
Azarya.
Azarya,
Azarya.
Ma'ayin,
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ashah,
Ashah.
Shemayah,
Shemayah.
Wa'aratazah,
Ma'aratazah.
Ayatan,
Ayatan.
Lamawat,
Wa'ilak.
Ragaka,
Agarka.
Ayanawam,
Ma'ayam.
Shemaka,
Ma'aka.
Hana,
Hana.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yanawam,
La'awam.
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah.
Yayashan,
Yashan.
Shalomar,
Shalomar.
Yasha'Allah,
Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shemaka,
Ma'aka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Tazaka,
Zaka.
Al Yah,
Ayah.
Yamyanka,
Yamyanka.
Yawamam,
Ramon.
Ashamash,
Ashma.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yakaka,
Yaka.
Wayarak,
Wa'yarak.
Bayayala,
Wa'yala.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamaka,
Yashmaka.
Makara,
Ma'akara.
Yashamar,
Yashmar.
Ablapashka,
Al-Pashka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamar,
Yashmar.
Taza'afka,
Tasa'afka.
Wabu'afka,
Wa'afka.
Ma'athat,
Ma'atha.
Wa'ai Awalam.
Wa'at. Wa'alam.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the
I
hills.
will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
Whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
Help come from Yahweh,
which made heaven and
who
earth.
made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be removed.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
he that keepeth Yahweh
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall not slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not spite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth,
This time forth,
even and forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damayalaka.
Adayalaka.
Al Takarash.
Adawakarash.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
Adashakwa.
Al Kayat.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awayabyaka.
Yamaka.
Yahamayawan.
Ayamaya.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Ayaka.
Ya'iram Yamwa.
Ayam Amiwa.
Sawadah.
Sawada.
Wayataya Altazawa.
Wayataya Wataza.
Altaza Pawanyaka.
Ataza Wapanyaka.
Amara.
Amara.
Lakawa.
Akwa.
Wanakakida.
Wayakaki.
Magaya.
Magari.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazaka.
Yazaka.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Shemashia.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Atazawa.
Anaya Taza.
Labad.
Laban.
Yakadwa.
Kabwa.
Ayaka.
Aya.
Barya.
Bara.
Yakarathwa.
Wabawaka.
Alahaya.
Ayahaya.
Anawan.
Ayawan.
Wayashama.
Awayashma.
Alahayam.
Ayahaya.
Mawa Abba.
Ayahaya.
Wahagaria.
Wagari.
Gabal.
Ball.
Wa Amawan.
Awan.
Wa Amalak.
Amalak.
Palasha.
Ayasha.
Am Yeshabia.
Amyashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawo.
Gam Ashawar.
Ashawo.
Nalawa.
Namawa.
Imam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Alawa.
Zarawat.
Zarawa.
Labanya Lawat.
Lambayim Lawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Asha.
Asha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadya.
Kasayasara'a.
Kasaradasi Ra'a.
Kayabyan.
Nagman.
Banakal.
Balakal.
Koyashwan.
Karashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Rashkapya.
Ba'ayandara'a.
Ayadamya Mimra.
Hayawa.
Some
Say Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Daman.
Laman.
La Adama. Say La Adama.
La Damya.
Shayathamwa.
Shaya Damya.
Nadayatmawa.
Nainapma.
Ka'ira.
Kayara.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakasakap.
Wakazabak.
Waskabak.
Wakatazal.
Wakatazor.
Mana'ai.
Mala'a.
Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Kal Salat.
No problem. Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Kal La.
Say Kal
Kal Na.
Nasiyakamwa.
Some come.
Most High in Christ. Ashar.
Ashar.
Amara.
Amara.
Nayarashah.
Nayasha.
Lanawa.
Layawa.
Ah. Na'awa.
Layana.
Alahayam.
Alahai.
Alahaya.
Alahai.
Shayathamwa.
Sharatami.
Kagagula.
Gargle.
Kakwash.
Shaquash.
Lapanya Rawaka.
Paya by Quack.
Most High in Christ. Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba'ira Ya'ira.
Sama Ayo, you're right.
Wakalahaba.
Waka'abu.
Talahat.
Tabaha.
Haryam.
Karyam.
Kanthur Datma.
Karada.
Basairika.
Pasai.
Wabasa.
Wabaspa.
Wapaka.
Wapaka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Payaham.
Qualawan.
Palawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wash.
Shamka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Gabashi.
Wayabahawa.
Babaho.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Wayakapara.
Wakapar.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabad.
Wayada'adwa.
Wayadabu.
Kaya Atha.
Kayata.
Shamka.
Shemka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Babaka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Alkahal Rataza.
Ayawan.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep that outside.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O
O
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumble.
And they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up the
they
head.
lift up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken correct counsel
against thy people
against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy enemy.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Yasha
The
Allah
name of Yasha
may be no more in remembrance.
be no more
Remembrance.
no more remembrance.
There you go. For they have consulted together
They are consulted together.
with one consent.
One consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacle of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites
of Moab,
Moab
and the Hagarenes,
Hagar,
Gabal,
the Ball,
and Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek,
Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Sure, also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
But also the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
glory to them.
as unto the Midianites,
As to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Japheth,
as to Japheth,
at the brook of Kazan,
brook of Kazan,
which perished at Endor.
prepared their Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
Became done for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Making their numbers as a red.
and like Z,
and like Z.
yea, all their princes,
All their princes.
as Zeba,
As Zeba.
and as Zalmunna,
As Zalmunna.
who said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let's take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as the stubble before the wind,
Stubble before the wind.
as the fire burning wood,
As the fire burning wood.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy temper.
and make them afraid
And make them afraid.
with thy storm,
With thy storm.
and fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame.
that they may seek thy name.
They might seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh.
let them be confounded
Let them be confounded.
and troubled
And trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame
Let them be put to shame.
and perish,
And perish.
that men may know
That men may know.
that thou,
That thou,
whose name alone
the name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh.
are the most high
The most high.
over all the earth.
All earth.
Most high in Christ. Salt. All right. We're going to set the scroll down nice and neat. Hold it on both sides. There you go. Nice and neat. Most high in Christ. Yeshua, you was meant to be seated. All right, most high in Christ, man. We're going to go ahead and get into the scriptures. We're going to be starting with the Hebrew today. I'll be reading in the Hebrew. All right. Make sure I get everything right. So like it, bear with me 1 second. Let's go ahead and get these scriptures prepared and ready. So we're going to start past that. We're in the 48th chapter. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start. We're going to start at verse 15 in Genesis, the 48th chapter. We're going to go to Genesis, the 48th chapter. We're going to be starting at verse 14, and we're going to read 7 verses in the Hebrew, and we're going to read it and translate it into English, man. That's what the Sabbath service is about, all right? We'll go ahead and get started. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48. In verse 14 in the Hebrew. Wayashalak Yasha'ala Al Yam Yanwa Yashawa Al Ra'ash Parayam Waha Wa'a Hatazayah Wa'a Shamalawa. Go ahead and make sure you give them a security search. It's all good. Just set that back nice and neat. If you could, set that back up nice and neat. All right, I'm sorry, correct. Al Ra'ash Manashah Shakar Yadayawa Kaya Manashah Habkawa. Verse 15. Why you bark? Why bark? Ah. Yo, what's up? Why more? Hala hayam. Asham. Hata halakwa. Abathya. Lapanyawa. Abarayam. Wayata zakuka. Halahayam. Haraya. Adya. Ma'awadya. Salagya. I. Hayawam. Hazaha. Verse 16. Hamla'ak. Hagawa'al. Adya. Makala. Ra'a. Yabarak. Hanarayam. Hayakura. Baham. Shamya. Washam. Abathya. Abarayam. Wayata zakwaka. Wayada gala. Salagin. Wayada gawa. Lara. Bakura. Harataza. Verse 17. Wayakura. Wayara. Yawasa. Kaya. Yashaya. Abyawa. Yada. Yamyanwa. Ra'ash. Aparayam. Wayara. Bayanyawa. Wayatamak. Yedaya. Abyawa. Lahab. Saya'ar. Adya. Ma'al. Ra'ash. Aparayam. Ra'ash. Manashah. Verse 18. Wa'amar. Yawasap. Abyawa. La'a. Kan. Abya. Kaya. Za'a. Habakar. Shayam. Yamyanwak. Ra'ashah. Verse 19. Wayanaman. Abyawa. Wa'amara. Yedayatya. Banya. Yedayatya. Gam. Hawa'a. Yaha. La'aim. Wagam. Hawa'a. Yagador. Wa'awalam. Akyawa. Hakotan. Yagador. Mama Nawa. Wazariah. Yaha. Mala'a. Hagawayam. Verse 20. Wayabarakim. Bayawam. Hawa'a. La'amwa'ar. Bak. Yabra'at, Yasha'ala, La'amar, Yashamak, Alahayim, Karaparium, Wakamanasha, Wayasham, Aparium, Lapunya, Manashah, verse 21. Wa'amar, Yasha'ala, Al, Yawsa, Hana, Hanakah, Ankya, Salakia, Maya, Matha, Wahayawa, Alahayim, Amkam, Wahashaya, Adkam, Al, Aratazah, Abatyakam. And that's up to verse 22 in the Hebrew. We'll go ahead and get it in English. It's like Amadium. I have Officer Nathan Ward come up. State your name and registry. So you say Nathan Ward.
Nathan Ward.
Ban Yahawada.
Ban Yahawada.
Ban Yashala.
Ban Yashala.
I do it.
Nathan Ward. Ban Yahala.
Ban Yahawada.
Ban Yahawada.
Ban Yashala.
Ban Yashala.
Now we're gonna repeat it. Say Nathan Ward. Ban. Say what I say. Nathan Ward. Ban Yahawada. Ban Yashala. All right. So that just means you stated your name and you stated who's your father, but you come from the tribe of Judah. So Yahawada. Ban Yashala. So father of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you state your registry. All right. So go ahead and just come up here. You see right here, you're gonna be in the middle. You come back up here.
The middle circle?
Yeah, you just step in the middle. That's all. Scoot down some a little bit right there. You're just gonna scoot the chair and slide it down a little bit.
That's my phone.
Go a little bit that way. There you go. That's all that cracks. That's all that cracks. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it in English now, all right? We're gonna go into English. We're gonna go ahead and get our scriptures. We're gonna go to Genesis, the 48th chapter. We're gonna start at verse 14 in the English. Y'all pull that. Got a Bible. Just to follow along. I'm gonna have Barack, y'all, you read, all right? I'm gonna have you read. This Genesis 48th chapter. We're gonna be at 14, so it's the next day.
14 content. I'm starting to in English.
You don't gotta read. I'm gonna have Barack, y'all read. Just follow along. Just stay on point with it, all right? Go ahead, Barack, y'all.
And Israel stretched out his right hand.
Say where you at. Say you at Genesis.
So Genesis 48 in the 12th chapter.
14th chapter.
14th chapter.
There you go.
And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Messiah's head, Manasseh's head,
No problem.
guarding his hands wittingly. For Messiah was the firstborn.
Say Manasseh.
Manasseh was the firstborn.
All right, so what we talking about right here? What's this talking about, y'all? I need y'all to focus. I need y'all to get all the way focused and get into the scriptures. Read it again.
And Israel stretched out his right hand.
All right, so Israel stretched out his right hand, right? Go ahead.
And laid it upon Ephraim's head.
Okay, so he stretched out his right hand and he laid it upon Ephraim's head. Okay, keep going.
Who was the younger.
Right?
And his left hand upon You said Mrs.
Manasseh.
Manasseh.
Yeah, I'll help you out with that word. No sweat.
Manasseh's head.
Read.
Guiding his hands wittingly. For Manasseh was the firstborn.
All right, so what's going on right here? Do anybody understand what's happening right here? We just went through this verse. You know what I'm saying? Do anybody get an understanding of what's going on? You do, you do, you don't, you don't. For time's sake, I'm going to say what's going on right here, right? Israel is just now meeting Ephraim and Manasseh, right? Ephraim and Manasseh is his grandsons, because these are the sons of Joseph. These are Joseph's firstborn sons. And this is the first time they actually meeting their grandfather Israel, right? So it says, when it say Israel stretched out his hand, his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim, what you gonna understand later on down the line what this story is, Ephraim is the youngest. And Joseph stretched out his right hand and laid upon Ephraim's head first, right? And it said, who was the younger? It said right here in the scripture. And it said, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, got his hands willingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. All right, usually when a blessing happens, what happens? Who get blessed first? Anybody can answer that?
The first child. Right?
Most High in Christ. Get up on your hand. That's what the word hand, man. The first child gets the blessing. All right, as you can see right here, this is something that's untraditional that's happening right now. Who's getting the blessing right now?
The younger, sir.
Most High in Christ. Get up, brother, hand. The youngest one, which would be who? Ephraim. Most High in Christ. All right, go ahead.
And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life along unto this day.
Read.
Verse 16. The angel which redeemed me from all evil.
Read.
Bless the lads.
Keep going.
And let my name be named on them.
Right. Read.
And the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth.
All right, y'all understand what's going on right here? What does that mean? What's this talking about?
So like I said, if I could, let his seeds multiply like his children.
Yeah, right. Okay, so explain it in more terms. Explain it in a more simpler form so people will get where you're coming from with it.
Basically, the Lord's allowing him to have more babies.
Okay. All right, so simplify. Say it. Okay, what's the point? Like, all right, they having more babies, they having more children, right? But what's the bigger picture at this point, right?
So like I said, I don't know.
You want to take a shot? Right, yeah? You don't know either?
Just a generation.
That's more so on point. You more so on point with it. What's going on right here? All right, these are the 12 tribes, right? The 12 tribes don't have a nation. They didn't become a full-grown nation yet. See what I'm saying? They didn't fully turn into a nation. Like, as you can see up there, these are tribes of people.
Right.
And there's thousands and thousands and probably millions of people in these tribes. You know what I'm saying? The tribe of Judah is 1 million Judites. And the tribe of Benjamin is 1 million Benjamin. They got a whole island on Jamaica.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? In Mexico, the Mexicans, they are well populated. They turned into a full multitude. So the point what you want to say is they turned into, you know what I'm saying, a big multitude, generations of tribes and races and thousands of people. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Lord blessed the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. That's the real true blessing of the 12 tribes of Israel right there. All right, you get the point?
Concept.
Most High in Christ. Keep going.
Verse 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him.
It did what?
Displeased him.
All right, what this talking about?
Joseph was jealous of the blessing of Ephraim.
Okay, you don't want to say jealous, right? It said that it displeased. It would have just said that he was jealous. See that? But it said he was displeased with this. Now my question is, why would he be displeased that, Ephraim got a blessing before Manasseh? I practically just gave it away when I said that.
It's likely Manasseh is older.
There you go. That's the point right there. Right. It's because Manasseh is the oldest child. So traditionally, what happens? The oldest get what? The blessing. The oldest one get blessed first. You understand? That's what goes down in the traditions. You see that? But as you see right here, you see the youngest one is getting blessed right here before the oldest. That's why Joseph was displeased with his father doing that. You see that? Y'all get the point? Keep going.
Displeased him, verse 17. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head.
It even displeased him so much, he tried to correct his father and say, you know what, Salaki, Dad, this one is the oldest right here, not this one. This one right here ain't the oldest. This one right here, Manasseh is the oldest one. So he should be getting this blessing right here. You see the point? You get the bigger picture of what he's saying? Right? Keep going.
Verse 18. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head.
So exactly verbatim of what I just said, of he just correcting his father, you see it right here in the scripture. The next verse, right? Y'all get the point? No sign of Christ. So what's going on right here?
He physically removed his hand from his head.
And he did it why?
He was displeased of the decision making of what his father did.
And what was the decision that he was displeased about? I'm doing this so I can make sure y'all get the point of this. Because what's gonna happen, instead of being learning, y'all gonna teach this one day. Somebody gonna come to y'all with this scripture right here in Genesis 48, and they gonna say, I don't quite understand this right here. The down the word gonna be like, that ain't no sweat. What's going on right here is this.
Right.
You understand? The youngest was getting blessed. Joseph was not pleased by that. You see that? And Joseph tried to correct his father and putting the firstborn into getting the blessing instead of the youngest one. You see that? Y'all be able to understand it. This is why I want to make sure y'all growing y'all education with the scriptures and making sure y'all understand what's going on. All right? Keep going.
Verse 19. And his father refused and said,
And his father did what?
And his father refused.
That right there, y'all don't want to skip that point right there. I know it seemed like it's a small thing, but this is the big game changer right here. When his father refused to do what? He refused to switch it up and get a blessing to the firstborn. It was for a reason. So this right here is big and significant right here. This is something y'all got to pay attention to. These are the significant details in this chapter, right? Keep going. His father refused. Read.
And said, I know it, my son. I know it.
And he told him, I know, son. I know who's the firstborn. I know who's the oldest in this. I know what's going on, right? Read.
He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great.
And he say he gonna be great. Don't worry about it. He gonna become a people. He gonna get blessed. And guess what? Manasseh gonna be very great. As you can see, the so-called Cubans today are very great.
Right.
They are very independent. You understand? Just like their father, just like their forefather Israel said they was gonna be. This is how you know that the Bibles, you can line this up with actual true history, man. You understand? That's why you want to get into the history of these cultures. You want to get into the history of the 12 tribes of Israel. You want to get into the nitty-gritty history. You're going to find out directly that they are the 12 tribes of God. They are the 12 tribes of Israel. They the children of God, man. You understand? Once you dig deeper into their history, you're gonna realize they all got something in common. The Lord. They all got that in common. Right?
Right.
Keep going.
He also shall be a people, and he also shall be great.
Read.
But truly, his younger brother shall be greater.
Hold on.
than
Truly
he.
what?
His younger brother shall be greater than he.
It say, surely his younger brother gonna be greater than him. And as you can see, Ephraim, who is Ephraim? Who is Ephraim in modern times today?
Younger brother.
Say it again.
The younger brother.
He the younger brother, but what nation is he today? What race is he called today?
Puerto Rican, sir.
Give that brother a hand, man. Give that brother a hand, man. The so-called Puerto Ricans. The so-called Puerto Ricans are today's, it's Ephraim. Ephraim is who you call today the so-called Puerto Ricans. And the so-called Puerto Ricans, they are greater than Manasseh. Look at the Puerto Ricans. Look at Puerto Rico. Look at the people, the tribe that they come out. Look at their families. You understand? Look, if you go and do the history, you'll realize how much greater they are. You understand? And how they got that blessing. Okay? The Puerto Ricans, they younger. They younger than the Cubans. Cubans older than them. All right? That goes back into ancient history. Okay? Keep going.
Greater than he. And his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
And his seed shall become a multitude of nations. Guess what? And that happened. That happened. You see that today. This is how you know that it's true. Okay? Alright? Ephraim is not Mexicans. Alright? They not all the same. They Hispanics, don't get me wrong, but they're different tribes. We call them the northern tribe today. You see that?
Right.
They got a lot of history, man. They got a lot of history. Alright, keep going.
Verse 20. And he blessed them that day, saying, in thee shall Israel bless, saying, God, make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh.
You see that? He set Ephraim before Manasseh. You see that? Israel understood and knew that Ephraim was going to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that in your family sometime when you understand that and siblings know this thing right here. A lot of siblings understand this thing when they have that younger brother that's much more talented than them or more favored than them. I believe anybody can relate to that right there.
Right.
When that one young sibling, out of all the siblings, right? Out of all the siblings, that young sibling get favored between all of them. You know what I'm saying? You ever went through that before, Nathan? You get what I'm talking about? You get what I'm talking about, Brock? Y'all, when that one young sibling get looked up to by everybody in the family, this is what happened. This is the same scenario, man. It's no different. It's no different, man. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 21. And Israel said unto Joseph, behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers.
So this was Israel, you understand? He understood that he was in his last days. He understood, man, that he one day soon is going to perish, and he going to die, you know what I mean? So he making sure he giving all the blessings to all his family. He making sure he meeting everybody in his family. He just met Ephraim and Manasseh, you know, and he wanted to bless him, right? So this whole chapter, man, consists of him understanding who his grandchildren was, giving them that blessing. This is the whole scenario of Genesis, the 48th chapter. All right? Y'all want to do what y'all want to do, go back and watch the notes on this, man, and gather up some good info so y'all can keep it with y'all forever. You know what I'm saying? In these scriptures, it's going to be things you should never forget about. It's going to be things you should never want to forget about and always keep it in your mind because it's beautiful to go teach another brother. It's a beautiful thing to go teach another sister these things that they never understood in the Bible. All right? With that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and pack up for camp and get ready. So we're going to close out the Sabbath service. And the Israelite, Alright, Barack, y'all blow the horn. Yum, salt. Jamal, salt. We're gonna stick out the chalice. We're gonna say La Yasha.
La Yasha.
Most High in Christ. And that means to Israel. Right. So, go ahead, blow the horn. Most High in Christ. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna salute the scroll. So I'm gonna have you pick the scroll up nice and gentle.
From this end, sir?
You're gonna pick it up from both ends.
Both ends, yeah.
Then go up under. Yeah. That's what you do. Nice and neat. Put it on the shoulder. Alright, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and salute the scroll, alright? Yahweh Shimon Shabrak.
Yahweh Shimon Shabrak.
Alright, take that scroll from him, Barakia. You let the brother salute the scroll. So you're gonna go Majim Shabbat. Hold on, wait. So you're gonna go. This is the Majim. You go straight. Majim Shabbat is when you switch. Let me just show you the demonstrators. This is the Majim. Got your feet together, heels together. Majim Shabbat. So you go like that. You're gonna bring it back to a Majim. You're gonna go to Barak. Then you like in there. So you're gonna go Majim Shabbat. Majim. Oh, you don't have to go Barak yet. I didn't say Barak. So Majim Shabbat. Majim. Alright, so let me demonstrate it. No, it's cool. It's fine. Good. It's all good. So this is a Majim right now. This is the Majim Shabbat. Right? We go back to a Majim. This is a Majim. Back to this there. Right. This is Barak. Alright? That's all. So go ahead and try Majim. Feet the heels together. Remember, heels together on the Majim. Majim Shabbat. A Majim Shabbat. You spread that one foot up. So you go Majim Shabbat. That one foot up. Bring that one foot up. You see that? Majim Shabbat. Go from here to here. Go from here to here. Here to here. Alright? Again. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak.
Most High in Christ. Brother, don't worry about it. We'll go ahead, set that back down nice and neat. Actually, hold that on. Actually, grab that scroll, Nathan Wolf. Grab that scroll. We're going to say these prayers. Put it on your shoulder. You blow the horn. Put it over your shoulder. Blow the horn. Which means to face the east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakuka. Laba'ah. Ratazaka. Ayah. Ashad. Ba'aratazak. Kawa. Ayah. Bashemayim. Nadunganawa. Nakam. Kab. Yawam. Wasalat. Kabawak. Kasalak. Kabawaf. Wala'ah. Tabi'ah. Manasana one. The boy. Awashano. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'ala. Wata Parat. La'awalamni. Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth.
On earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us of our debts.
Forgive us of our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not.
Lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the
And
kingdom,
the power.
power,
And the glory.
glory,
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
God's power in the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kushah.
And the Thelanon.
Nathanael.
Akach.
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 Larba'ah.
Larba'ah.
Cal Makalah.
Kal Makalah.
Cal Manawah.
Kal Manawah.
Akach.
Akach.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Amatazario.
Amatazari.
Akach.
Akach.
Hakwayam.
Hakwayam.
Amathia.
Amathia.
Akach.
Akach.
Arakawah.
Arakawah.
Atama'ala.
Atama'ala.
Agarashan.
Agarashan.
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
The water Aman. God's power in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Bless Israel. Blessings in the Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah.
Rakatha Yahweh Yahushua.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Lahayim.
Matazabya.
Mazabia.
Alawap Yahana.
Abuwa Yahana.
Alawap Yah. Ha Alawapya.
Allah
Hasaranya.
Asaranya.
Aquatazanya.
Akwazanya.
Kakoya.
Koya.
Wa Akwatya.
Wa Akwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba Shem Yahushua.
By Hashem
The
Yahushua.
water Aman. Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commander General
The
Yahana.
generals.
The generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
And the assistants.
And assistants.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121. In the Hebrew, Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahariya.
Al-Hahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azariah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'an.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ashah.
Ashah.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Yamawah.
Yamawah.
Yagaka.
Gorka.
Yanawam.
Mayawan.
Shemaka.
Shemorka.
Anah.
Anah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Melawan.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Ayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shemaka.
Shemorka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazaka.
Tazaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamar.
Yawamar.
Ashamash.
Ashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Bayrak.
Bayrak.
Bayayala.
Bayayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamaka.
Yashamarka.
Karak.
Korah.
Yashamar.
Yashimar.
Atnapashka.
Atnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashimar.
Taza'aka.
Taza'aka.
Wabu'aka.
Wabu'aka.
Ma'atha.
Ma'atha.
Wa'aid Awalam.
Wa'aid Awalam.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help coming from Yahweh,
My help coming from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'ala
he that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not strike thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth,
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Dakaraj.
Al-Dakaraj.
Al-Tashikwat.
Al-Dashashwa.
Al.
Al.
Kayat.
Kayat.
Hanat.
Hanat.
Awayabyaka.
Amiyabika.
Yahamayawan.
Yahamayawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'anaka.
Ya'irim Yamwa.
Yu'ayim Yuwa.
Sawadat.
Sawadah.
Wayataya Atazawa.
Wayataya Tazu.
Altazapawanyaka.
Al-Tasapawanika.
Amaru.
Amar.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Onakagida.
Manakadi.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ai.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Shem Yasha'ala.
Shem Yashua.
Awadat.
Agadah.
Kayak.
Kayak.
Nawatazawa.
Nayataza.
Labad.
Labad.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Barya.
Raya.
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Raya Shemai.
Maya Shemai.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Mawa Abu.
Mawa Abba.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Amawan.
Amawan.
Amalak.
Wamalak.
Palashah.
Palashah.
Amyashabi.
Amyashabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Ashur.
Nalawa.
Malawa.
Aiman.
Aiman.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Jarawa.
Zawa.
Labanya Lawa.
Lamanyi Luwa.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashah.
Ashah.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasayasara'a.
Kasiyasara.
Kayabyan.
Kayaki.
Anakal.
Banakal.
Yashwan.
Yashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashimadi.
Bayandara'a.
Bayandara.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Laman.
Laman.
La'adama.
Laadam.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatam.
Nadayatmawa.
Nagiyakmawa.
Ka'ira.
Ka'ara.
Wakisa'aba.
Wakazahaba.
Wakisabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakitazal.
Wakazal.
Mana'ai.
Mana'ai.
Ka'anasiyakama.
Kanasiyakam.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amara.
Amar.
Nairashah.
Nairashah.
Nanawa.
Manawa.
Ah. Na'awa.
Manawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayatam.
Kagagila.
Kagagila.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapaya Rawaka.
Wahayarawaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba Ira ya Ira.
Ira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Alahat.
Alahat.
Aryam.
Aryam.
Panther Dotman.
Panadar.
Basa Ira.
Basa Arab.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapaka.
Pop.
Daba Halam.
Babahalam.
Mala'ai.
Mala'ai.
Paniham.
Payaham.
Falawan.
Falawan.
Wai Bakwashi.
Waikwash.
Shamkat.
Shamkat.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wai Behold.
Wabahol.
Ai Da'ai.
Ai.
Wai Kapara.
Waikapar.
Wai Ababla.
Waikabah.
Wai Da'abla.
Waida'abah.
Kayata.
Kayatha.
Shamkat.
Shamkat.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Alkahar Ratasa.
Ayawan.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Below.
Below.
Thy enemies make a tumble.
Thy enemies make a tumble.
They that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel
And they have taken crafty counsel
against thy people
against thy people.
and consulted against thy heroes.
And consulted against thy
They
enemies.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a
from
nation,
being a
that
nation.
the name of Yahshua
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
They have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
Hagarims,
Hagarims,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines,
Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Japheth,
as to
and the
Japheth,
brook of Kizon,
at the brook of
which
Kizon,
perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became dumb for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Z,
and like thee.
yea,
Yea,
all the princes,
all the
and
princes,
Zeba,
and
and
Zebah,
Zalmunna,
and
who
Azalmunna,
said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burning wood,
as the fire burning wood,
and as the flame set of the mountains on
and
fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy
with
tempest,
thy tempest,
make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm,
with thy storm.
fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
and they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded,
let them be confounded
in trouble,
in trouble
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame,
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
are the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Most high in Christ. Salt. Gonna blow the horn, right, guy? Nice and neat. Most high in Christ. Anyone like to be anointed? Most high in Christ. Get a brother hand. We'll go ahead and anoint this brother, man. Go ahead, stand right here. Stand in front of the podium. You're gonna be right here with me. Select yourself if I could, Baba Shah. Can I get you on this side, Baba Shah? I want to anoint this brother. Just stand in the middle.
She said put a prayer.
All right, get off your phone. Yeah, you gonna repeat after we're gonna repeat after the gospel bar.
Us three, not you, or you. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Wayashamarka.
Wayashamarka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Penyawa.
Penyawa.
Aliyaka. Wayakanka.
Wayakanka.
Yasha Yahweh.
Yasha Yahweh.
Penyawa.
Penyawa.
Aliyaka.
Aliyaka.
Wayashamlaka.
Wayashamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah.
Rapa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Barak Yah.
Barak Yah.
Barak Yah.
Barak Yah.
Barak Yah.
Barak Yah.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
The water.
Aman.
Aman.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Son of Christ.
Okay.
No, 1 second. You come back up here right there. Son of Christ. All right, we're gonna go ahead and close out the Sabbath service. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I imagine Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barak Yah, Yajmatah, dismiss.